Radhe Radhe everyone. Today we have with us our teacher, Shri Swami Premanand Bharti. Sir has more than 15 years of experience in astrology, and in fact, I have learned astrology from him. And it is my privilege to share screen with him and to bring him on this channel. And today we will be learning through him that how love marriage is possible in a chart. How we can see that in a chart there is a possibility of that love will get materialized into marriage. So let's start this conversation without wasting much time. Okay, so welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mansha, and it is always nice to have good students like you. If we start with Osho and ends and with Osho, so in Bhagavad Gita, at one place, Osho says that Arjun is the main author of Bhagavad Gita. He asked so many questions that Krishna had to reply. So it is more privilege of teacher to have good student rather than student to have good teacher. It is an honor to have good students like Arjun or like you for a teacher.
Thank you so much. I really hope that I deserve this because it's a big compliment. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for being our guide. So, the first question, we'll try to record this video in both languages. This first video is in English. So, the first question is, can we get to know whether we will marry the love of our life? Like the youth, particularly, they are in relationship and they are very much confused that whether, their love will materialize into marriage. So if that will happen or not.
Right. So as we are focusing more on relationship astrology in this session, and as we know, like most of the concern of every age, I won't say that it is only in the 20s or 30s, but like people even in 60s or 70s are looking for love in their life. So for people in every age, they are interested in love relationship, and it remains like main concern whether the person whom I like, I will be with that person throughout my life or not. Okay. So in astrology, I'm assuming that people who are going to watch this video know the basics of astrology, which house represents what. I'm assuming that. Okay. So as we know that fifth house is the main house of love romance matters. Okay. Love romance matters is fifth house. Now it depends on your ascendant which sign is falling there. Okay. So it is like starting the love relationship, meeting someone first few times. It is like like going for a date for first few times. You are not very sure about the person, okay, but you are giving a chance. Let's see how it goes. So that is seen from fifth house. Okay. Seventh house is the house of committed relationship. Okay. Understand why? Because in this between fifth house and seventh house, sixth house is coming, which is the house of obstacles. Okay. So your obstacles are kind of test of your relationship. I may meet someone, I may start liking her, but then some obstacles may come in the way. If I am really interested in her, I will be patient to resolve those obstacles, and then she can trust that okay, if this person is trustworthy, I commit to this person. Okay. So sixth house of obstacles is actually not obstacle, it is test of your seriousness about the person. How serious you are about the person, that is seen from the sixth house. Now I have shown the interest in the person, and I resolve the conflicts, obstacles, and be committed to each other. So this house is committed relationship. Same house becomes the house of marriage when it is like socially accepted and all. Then it becomes marriage. So if there is a connection between your fifth house and seventh house, okay, there is a connection between your fifth house and seventh house. This shows that like a person may be desirous of getting converting his love into marriage. Okay, so any combination like fifth lord in the seventh house, seventh lord in the fifth house, it is if fifth lord and seventh lord are this fifth lord and seventh lord are aspecting each other, conjunct with each other. Planets like Dhara Karaka and Putra Karaka, okay, Gemini concept. Dhara Karaka and Putra Karaka also represent fifth house, seventh house energy. So even their combination, energy exchange between fifth and planet with the fifth highest degree, planet with the seventh highest degree, Putra Karaka and Dhara Karaka, will represent that someone is very interested in converting his love into marriage. Now, whether it will happen or not, or when it will happen, if there are benefic planets involved in good dignity, huge possibility. Okay, like we discussed in the group, our class group recently of Elizabeth Taylor chart. Seventh lord in the fifth house, exalted Venus. Okay, so lots of love marriages in her life, one after the other, lots of love marriages. Okay, so it is like benefic planet in good dignity, huge possibility that it will be like he will be succeeding in having this like love marriage kind of thing. If malefic planets are involved like Saturn, it may happen delay and with a delay in life. Okay, initial love relationship may not work that much. Okay, because Saturn is planet of delay and perseverance. So in their 20s, if they get into a relationship with someone, love with someone, that relationship may not turn into marriage. But if they find someone in their 30s or after mid 30s, and that can turn into like marriage, because Saturn is the planet of delay and perseverance. So the maturity also, the maturity is also there with the person to deal with it. So to answer your question, the fifth, seventh energy exchange, Putra Karaka, Dhara Karaka energy exchange is always considered as the planetary placement which can convert love into marriage.
Okay, so thank you so much for explaining this so beautifully, and I think I'm sure the viewers have understood it, and they don't need to go anywhere after watching this video. And the second question is like sometimes since I've started this, so people are coming to me, clients are coming to me, and they are asking like the picture was like really rosy when when they were in love. So it was like very lovey-dovey. It was very rosy picture. But then, as soon as they got married, the couple, uh, something happened. They also don't know what, but something happened. Like earlier the picture was rosy. Now the picture is bitter. So what happened? Like how this love thing converted into a bitter marriage. Rosy love converted into a bitter marriage.
Right. So, as I see, it is more about practicality. Okay, more about practical, how practicality hits your relationship. When someone is looking for marriage or looking for relationship, he is not thinking about the practical aspect of life which will come after the marriage. Okay, the responsibility part, that I have to look after the family, I have to look after my wife or husband, or the children will bring more responsibilities. So he's not thinking about that. He's only thinking about the relationship, finding a partner. The mindset is only limited up to that. Okay, but when, okay, you found the partner, you got married, now the responsibility part, you never thought about it. That means you are not ready with it. You are not ready with the plan, how to deal with it. Okay, if I have a child, where he will go to this school, or he or she will go to this school, at what age, I will start preparing for her higher education or his higher education, how much funds I need, and all. So that is something people rarely think. Rarely there is a person who will be thinking about all these things before finding a partner. Okay, so that is where the responsibility part comes in. And because we are not ready with it, it becomes like, okay, from where these responsibilities came? Okay, from where these situations? Astrologically, we can say Saturn plays a huge role. Okay, Saturn is the planet of responsibility and duty. And if Saturn is impacting your relationship oriented houses, relationship oriented planets like Venus, Jupiter, seventh house, seventh lord, Dara, it shows that person needs to be proactively responsible. Rather than thinking about lovey-dovey relationship and all, he should, from the very beginning, he needs to understand relationship is more a responsibility. Even the slightest of aspect of Saturn is enough. Okay, even the one aspect of Saturn on Venus is enough to indicate that you need to be responsible. You need to look at the responsibility part of relationship rather than anything else. Okay, and as per my experience of looking at people's chart from last 10 years, at least 10,000 charts, there is always a Saturn impact on relationship. Anyhow, either it is ruling the seventh house, aspecting the seventh house, or aspecting Venus, Jupiter, conjunct with Venus, Jupiter, aspecting Dhara Karka. Anyhow, Saturn is impacting. That means Saturn wants us to know that relationship is more a responsibility and we need to approach it in a serious way. If we approach in a serious way from the very beginning, then we will not feel the pinch later. But if you have a dream, okay, a dream running on, and then the reality strike you, then you will feel the pinch. Okay, so this is more like practicality we need to develop. As per my experience of relationship counseling, this is the best part. I can share in all the sessions of relationship counseling sessions, only one partner is present. Okay, ideally it is marriage of two of you, right? Both should be present. This shows how much serious or responsible they are feeling about the marriage. They are not even present together. Okay.
Yeah.
I can only X person is there or Y person is there. Suppose I counsel X person. Y person doesn't even know what happened in this call. So how beneficial is this counseling? So this is the responsibility part. It is marriage of two of you. Both should be responsible equally. Okay. So this is where we need to be little more mature, little more practical. Then we can expect much better relationship lives.
So that's why the rosy picture gets converted into bitter marriage when the responsibility part is because they start living together and all. Uh, One more thing, sir. The thing is that the entire internet and, in fact, also the YouTube is flooded with one thing, and that is that Navmansa chart. And what role does it have in the marriage or even love marriage for that matter? So, Navmansa chart, what is this about? Like, even people, during the consultation, they ask, okay, my planet is like this, but in my Navmansa chart, it is sitting here. It isn't this. Venus is here, Venus is there. So, if you would like to say something about the Navmansa chart.
Right. You said correctly, Navamsha and marriage has become synonym. Okay. It is like if you just type on Google Navamsha, the automatic suggestion is marriage. As if Navamsha is not about anything else. Okay. First of all, my view is that your D1 chart, the birth chart, is most important. Why? Because all other charts are coming out of your D1 chart. Okay. Your D9 chart, D7 chart, D30 or 60, every other chart is coming out of your D1 chart. If you don't have a D1 chart, you cannot even make all these charts. So it is the mother of all charts. Okay. So I feel that your most attention should be on D1 chart first of all. D9, D10, you can refer to them, but for confirmation. Okay. Just to see if I have done my analysis of D1 chart correctly, I can refer to D9 and D10 and confirm it. Okay, understand it like this. Suppose I only have one trick of finding someone's career or relationship. I only have one trick. What will happen? First of all, consultation will end in 5 minutes time. Okay, how happy the client will be, how happy I will be. Okay, that is the first thing. Most importantly, because I have only one trick, I don't know whether I did it correctly or not. There is no way to verify it, validate it. So I feel that all the divisional charts are ways to validate whatever you have seen from D1 chart. Are you able to see the same thing from D9, D10, and all the divisional charts? It is the way to validate. Okay. Now coming to relationship and Navamsha. Okay. Understand from where Navamsha is coming. Navamsha is coming from 9th house. Recently, I wrote an article of Navamsha chart and relationship life. Navamsha is basically coming out of your 9th house of D1 chart. 9th house of your birth chart is like 9 divisions of 9th house, and a calculation goes which creates a Navamsha chart. Now, what 9th house represents? 9th house represents luck, fortune, religion, philosophy, literature. It is the highest of the dharma house. It is sattvic level of dharma house. It is shows your highest of righteous path in life. Okay. Now, if you see what we discussed, 5th house is love romance, 7th house is committed relationship. 7th house is third from the 5th. It is little bit like deep, and just pay attention. If you start counting from 5th house, reach 7th house, 3 houses are in between. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 7th house is third from the 5th. What is third house? Third house is the house of expression. Okay. Expressing yourself is third house. That's why it represents communication, traveling, and all these things. So 7th house is expression of your 5th house. Got it? Yes. Your love romance gets expressed through committed relationship. Likewise, 9th house is third from the 7th. It is expression of your committed relationship or marriage. It is expression. Your how much you are following your righteous path in life is seen how much settled you are in relationship, how much your partner is supporting you in relationship. Okay, your partner support is very much necessary. If my partner is not supporting in my path, I cannot follow that path for a long time. Okay, so this is like 7th house. 9th house is third from the 7th. 9th house is expression of your relationship. If you are making a Navamsha chart out of 9th house, even that Navamsha shows expression of your relationship, expression of your married life, how good or bad your married life looks like, or relationship life looks like. Okay, that is seen from Navamsha. Obviously, every relationship is full of challenges. I always say that we pay so much attention on this boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wife relationship. Every relationship has its challenges. Okay, and no one can say that they never had any conflict with their parents or siblings or friends. We have conflicts everywhere. So challenges can also be seen from Navamsha, and good times can also be seen from Navamsha. Okay. So Navamsha shows the expression of your relationship. Okay. Likewise, 9th house also shows expression of your relationship. It can also be understood. Third house is efforts. Okay. Third house is efforts, and 7th house is partner. How much effort your partner is putting in relationship. That is also 9th house or Navamsha. Okay, how much efforts your partner is putting in, how well your relationship life is expressed is seen from 9th house. 9th lord also, planets in the 9th house, they all impact. Okay. The chart which I will consider for love romance matters, it is more D7 chart. Okay, which is I think our next question, right?
Yes, sir. So D7 has any role?
Yeah, D7 is coming out of like fifth house. Okay, that's why D7 becomes the important chart for childbirth.
Yes.
Okay. Again, what I will do, I will look at D1 chart. If someone is coming for childbirth related consultation and all, I will first look at D1 chart completely and then I will go into D7. But D7, as it is coming out of fifth house is basically love romance. Okay. Fifth house is basically your happiness factor. It is the house of happiness. Okay. Because other things which are connected with fifth house bring us happiness. Right? Love romance bring us happiness. Movies, art, cinema, sports, children, they all bring us happiness. So fifth house is happiness. Likewise, D7 is the chart of your happiness factor. Okay. So rather than if someone is looking for initial relationship, meeting someone for the first few times, I will rely more on D7 chart and fifth house rather than D9 chart and the seventh house. Seventh house and D9 are like committed relationship or marriage. When like they have decided that, okay, I want to be with this person. Okay. But D7 and fifth house is starting a relationship. Okay. So fifth house of the D1 will also become important. Fifth house of D7 chart will also become important in like finding the timing when you can get into relationship. Again, if Saturn
And
is
if
involved,
malefics are there in the
yeah. So that is
yeah.
where I was coming to. Like if malefics are there, like Saturn and all. So with Saturn, the practicality. Okay, person has to be practical and realistic about what they can expect from their partner, what they cannot expect from their partner, and obviously, partner should be also be like very practical about it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then aspect, we have to see the aspect in divisional charts or not. On the aspect are only for the Lagna chart.
Right. Understand it like this. Let me give you an example. Like in my case, I am Scorpio, Ascendant, Cancer, Jupiter in the D1 chart.
Yes.
Okay. But in D9 chart, I become a Cancer Ascendant,
Cancers.
and Jupiter is in Virgo in the third. Okay. So if I use planetary aspect of Jupiter, planetary aspect means fifth, seventh, and the ninth. If I use in the D9 chart, I have to use from Virgo, right? Because Jupiter is in Virgo in my D9 chart. But in the sky, it was in Cancer.
Cancer. Pushya.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is why planetary aspect cannot be applied in the divisional charts. But we can apply Gemini aspects. Okay. Gemini astrology aspects can be utilized in the divisional charts. They are sign based aspects, they are not house based aspects. Okay. There, if I just Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. Okay. These are like Gemini aspects. Planets in Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn will aspect planets in Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, except the sign after that. Like Aries planet will not aspect any planet in Taurus. Cancer planet will not aspect any planet in Leo, but it will aspect other signs. Got it? Planets in Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn will aspect Taurus, planets in Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, except the sign after that. Okay. And finally, 3, 6, 9, 12, planets in the Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces will aspect each other. Okay. So these sign based aspects we can use in division.
Okay. Thank you for explaining this. It was much needed because as soon as we write, rightly you said that we write on the mantra on Google, and then the next suggestion is marriage. So, and another question is like this. My second last question of this session is that sometimes we see that the other person is like very possessive, and in our Bollywood movies, and in fact in our culture, we are seeing the movies that are like animal, in fact the movies like Kabir Singh. So this possessive nature is glorified. So
Hmm.
we take inspiration from movies generally, good or bad, whatever. So how to see possessive partner in a
Hmm.
possessive, that whether if I'm with somebody, that person is a possessive one, an insecure one or something. So because I
Hmm.
think that possessive nature is stemming from insecurity, I feel so.
Right.
So if,
Right.
yeah, if you can explain on
That is
that.
that is always the case, and unfortunately, it is given, like you said rightly, it is glorified these days. These days, like possessiveness is seen as love or protectiveness and all. Okay, possessiveness. Osho explains it very nicely that this word possess, it is you can possess only a property or a thing. Okay, so if someone is possessive towards you, he is not considering you more than a property or a thing. Okay, that is it. First thing. So it is negative trait. It has to be understood as a negativity only. It should not be glorified or given positive meanings. Okay, being possessive. Now there are signs, there are houses, there are nakshatras which represents control. Okay, like most often eighth house is the house of like instabilities, your insecurities, your fear, which can make someone control that thing, that area of life which they feel fearful about. Likewise, Scorpio sign, the same eighth house energy in eighth sign. If someone has planets, too many planets in Scorpio, Venus, or relationship oriented, that person can be very controlling about their partner, can be very possessive about their partner. Nakshatras like Ashlesha. Ashlesha is clinging nature. Okay, representation of entwined snake. Two snakes entwined into each other. What is the meaning of two snakes entwined into each other? This person can be so insecure that he can cling on to a person who is like a snake, who is a poisonous person. You should let go of such a person, but this person is ready to cling on to that person also, who is just like a snake. Okay, so these are the things main things which can make someone very very possessive, very clinging, very insecure about the relationship or relationship partner. Eighth house, Scorpio, Ashlesha. These are the main. Okay, I'm not saying and no other nakshatra can do it, but these are the main. Okay, um, this if I can add any other. Uh,
Does Mars also has a role to play in this?
yeah, Mars is
Like,
like dominance. Okay, dominating partner and all. So the like Mars impact on planet wise, Mars impact on this relationship oriented houses or planets can make someone very dominating or controlling towards their partner. Good point. Thank
most welcome, sir. Learn from you only. Okay, so since we have started this series, so we'll be continuing with
you. Yeah.
other topics in our next video. But before we end this video, I think my last question would be, because you are Swami Premanand Bharti, Vishal Saxena, Astro Saxena, very very famous. As soon as you write any query on Google, I think the top website, like the generally the number one or the number two website that appears on the search, because it is so popular, is your website. So and you're also a disciple of Osho. So I think Osho's learning teaching, nowadays we see that people are putting Osho's message on their many people, like still the layman, they associate Osho with something as that, okay, he has written only one book, it seems, but he has written so
Hmm.
many books, and I think he was the greatest philosopher that we have ever seen and India has produced lately. So if you, since we are talking about love, we are talking about relationship, so what was his take on love, on relationship? Because I know it's quite popular, but if you can just say a few words about the same, that what was his message? Yeah.
Right. So understand, with people like Osho, we can never make one opinion that Osho said this or Osho said that. With people like Osho, they are always contradicting themselves. Okay. They are giving different
Right.
opinions. So, like most common opinion about Osho and marriage is that Osho was against the marriage. Okay. This is the most common understanding. But as I understood him, probably he was the first one to in India to advocate love marriages. Okay, in 1950s
Okay.
and 60s, he was talking about love marriage and intercaste marriage and interreligious marriage. I tell you one very interesting quote. He says that, "Do you know why societies are against love marriage? Because they don't want you to be in the situation like Arjun." You understand?
Arjun. Okay. To ask too many questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is like, suppose a Hindu girl is getting married to X religion, or X religion guy is getting married to Y religion person, or caste wise also you are getting married because of love. Now, how you will fight against these? How your politicians will make you fight against each other? Okay, if
Yes.
my sister is married in another religion, will I be able to fight against her family? No, I will not. That is what Arjun's problem. That in opposition camp, all are my relatives. How to fight with my own people? Okay, so he was the first one to advocate love marriages, intercaste and interreligious marriages. And one like question is very like important here. Someone asked him that. Although your most views are against the marriage as an institution, but I have decided to get married. And one of his disciples said, "I have decided to get married. Do you have any suggestion?" So he said that what suggestion I can give when you have already decided. Okay, first thing that you have already decided. There is no need for suggestion. But only advice I can give is that from now onwards, your family, your marriage should be everything for you. Okay? From now onwards, forget about everything else. Forget about God, forget about spirituality, forget about everything. Your wife should be your God, your child should be your God, your family should be your God. It should not happen that after 2 years you are coming back again. Now live that life completely and intensely at such level that you have no desire to be in relationship again in your future lives. Live it so completely, totally. Okay, so that was the main thing with Osho, is that whatever you do it intensely at extreme, so that your desire should be like exhaust of that thing. So even if someone wants to get married, well, get married, but then it should not be after 6 months you are looking for divorce. Now live that marriage. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is the main thing.
Yes. So the desire part is kind of linked with Rahu.
Yeah.
Yeah, like exhaust your desire so that,
Yeah.
you're not born
Material.
again with the same Rahu position in your chart and the same sign.
Mm, right.
Okay, great. And then also, like, as soon as, like, nowadays we see that as, this stress, anxiety, and the other mental illnesses are growing, we see Osho is becoming, he was always popular since he was there. And I think with the coming times, he's going to become more and more popular, though the government and though the institution, I think, I won't name any government, let's not make any political statements here. But since I have been a philosophy student in Delhi University, and after that I did law, so in my philosophy syllabus, I was very surprised that we studied almost all the philosophers, Indian philosophers, Western philosophers, Greek philosophers even. But Osho, we didn't study at all. It was not part of the syllabus. We had some books of Osho, but yeah, as soon as, if somebody used to say that, okay, I think I follow Osho, but then people used to raise their eyebrows. Oh, really? Generally they associate him with only one book. So
Mm.
yeah, I just want you to say one line on that. Like, he has written so many books, but people only quote him for one book, and then, yeah, it
Then,
shows their mentality actually. Yeah.
yeah, then it shows their choice, what they want to choose from the mall. Okay, if you go into mall, what you purchase is your choice. You cannot say mall is only selling this thing. Mall is selling many other things. On Osho's shop, every book is available. Book on Buddha is also available. Meera is also available. Krishna is also available. Why you are concerned with that book? One book.
Gita also, yeah. You said that your
Yeah.
Gita is his favorite, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for inviting for this session. I hope it was helpful. And as I said, like as we discussed, that we are going to have more sessions on this one topic only, relationship astrology. This was first one, just house based. We will have another session, sign based plus planets based and all. We will have more sessions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sparing time. And I just want to mention, like, before we end, Sir website is already very, very famous, astrosaxena.com. And I will put that in the description. But as soon as you put any query on the Google, his website will be on the top. So he's very, very famous. And thank you so much for sparing time
Thank
for us. Sir, we are, like, really grateful.
you.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.